we are going to move on to our program today. So, Ryan, thank you for being here. I know you've been traveling. It's great to have you back. And we look forward to hearing more about Concours. Well, Classics on Main, yes.
Yeah, so thank you. It is going to be pretty short just because it's not a whole lot to cover, but I'm going to throw this up here. So I wasn't sure who all would be on today, so just kind of brief overview. We have been doing this show for quite a while, the big Concours. 2020, before it was canceled, obviously, it was supposed to be the 48th annual event, and we're looking forward to it returning in full force in 2022. Typically, we're always held on the third Sunday of July and have over 300 high quality classic cars, modified cars, everything else. And it has traditionally been the largest fundraiser for the club. In 2019, I don't remember the exact number. I don't know if Tim does or Ken. I think 2019, we generated 65,000 in revenue or in profit, sorry, to support community scholarships and events and everything else for us. But this year, we had to make some changes. This year, we're going to be doing what we're calling Classics on Main. It is this Sunday for anybody who's able to join us. We're at 8 a.m. Going to be on Main Street and 21st. So, and it's a two-part event. So we have what we're calling a Cars and Coffee, which is essentially a bunch of cars on Main Street and 21st Avenue. And then the second part is a bunch of the cars are going to actually leave. In total, we're looking to have about 80 cars that are going to be on the two roads. Main Street will have 50 cars that will leave at about 10:30 in the morning, and they'll be heading down to the Brothers Museum down in Salem, and they'll have lunch and everything down there. On 21st Avenue, on both sides of Main Street, potentially, depending on where we can get them to fit. On 21st Ave, we're going to have the other cars that really just came to show their car, be involved, and give us a little donation to continue supporting us and everything we've done in the past. Those people as well, really anyone who submitted a car, they will all receive a few coupons from some local businesses on Main Street and 21st that are trying to entice them in to purchase things. And we gave that as an opportunity for free to any of the local businesses there that we were affecting. Yeah, any questions on kind of the big picture of the event for this Sunday? I have a little more though. Everyone looks good. Okay. So why do we make the change? We were unable to secure Pacific's campus in February, March timeframe, because as we all know, the world was in a totally different place just a few months ago. And for us, it really had to be a decision that we made that early because we have so many upfront costs for the show that if we don't actually make money, we'll end up losing a lot of money for the club. We had to make the decision pretty early on there. We did want to do something just to provide an opportunity for all the car owners that have supported us in the past. So this event with such a small number of cars is actually invitation only, or primarily invitation. And these cars are, a lot of them are past winners. Whether the cars are past winners or the car owners are past winners goes back and forth. But these are people who have had high quality cars in the past at our shows. And for the most part are local. We are, as far as the financing goes on it, we are trying to make a little bit of money on it. Definitely not the $60,000 we've made in the past, but Tim did a great job securing some sponsorships for this year. Thank you, Tim. We have Haggerty and 503 Motoring and Charvet Classic Cars. They're contributing a little bit to help the event, as well as we are having the car owners are paying a decent amount, more than they've paid in the past for our traditional vineyard tour or anything like that. And these, and so we're hoping we'll be able to net a little bit. That was kind of the budget discussions we discussed last week I was here a few weeks ago with Lucas and everything else, trying to net a little bit of money, really with the goal of making sure we have a little bit of seed money moving forward to next year for making signs or anything else that comes up early.
Ryan, I just want to clarify real quick, and as well as give credit where credit is due. Alan Stevens actually was the one that secured those sponsorships this year. I was involved in helping to invoice them, but I want to make sure that he gets the credit for that.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you. And Alan Stevens is someone who's helped the show, been a part of the show for a long time, for anyone that doesn't know him at this point. And his father was one of the founding members of the show. Is that correct? Okay. Yeah, there we go. So as far as how to help, some of you did sign up, and thank you so much for signing up on the Sign Up Genius link I'd sent in the past, as well as the link that Blake had put in the Rotateller. Thank you, Blake. I'll be contacting you a little bit here. Big picture, there's not really a whole lot to do. It is strange, but we don't have any gates. We don't have any food service, really. We do have a small hospitality tent, but we really don't have a lot that's going on. Now, what would be great is if people are able to attend the show, wear some kind of Rotary gear in one way or another, really just show that it is a Rotary event, and really just enjoy the cars, enjoy the show, and enjoy the great weather that we will probably have on Sunday as well. It's only going to be a few hours, so hopefully you can enjoy it, and then maybe enjoy lunch or something at one of the businesses there in town as well. And thank you to everyone who's worked quite a bit on setting up this show. I know it's been quite a bit of work for the small committee doing it, so thank you so much. I can't see everyone that's on here, but Tim with your invoicing, Bryce definitely with everything with car showing, the car spotting. I'm all tongue-tied. And everything else. So thank you to all of you and all of your help there. So next year's show, because this is a small show, I do just want to highlight next year because this is going to be important. We do already have some things secured. The theme, we are looking at either keeping this exact tagline or making some kind of adjustment of what we had planned for the 2021 show. We'll be doing a salute to British elegance or something similar there. And this one for sure, Tim, you locked down the sponsorship from Jaguar Land Rover sponsoring us for next year, correct? Awesome. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. He has committed to be our presenting sponsor for next year. So we're excited about that. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Tim. So we're really hoping that next year's show will be able to move forward a little quicker at the beginning because we have some of the stuff already made. The artist already has the painting and everything else too. We do really need to focus next year more than ever, making sure that we fill any of the shortfalls in budget that we had this year. Really the past 2 years without a show is quite a bit. So it will be a lot more all hands on deck, hopefully. So for any of you that can save the date already for next year, July 17th, 2022, please do so. I know some things come up, but it's going to definitely need quite a bit of help from everybody involved. The goal is to make sure we get committee assignments out by the end of 2021. So you'll have quite a few months to really plan ahead there. As far as show changes, we have made some changes in the past. Historic big changes have happened. And then more recently, we've done some changes we're going to try to expand on. Definitely keep the online ticketing. I think QR codes and everything else is only going to be bigger now that more people have gotten more comfortable with it. We're hoping to expand. Several of you have talked to me about wanting to expand that wine pavilion, as well as the beer garden and everything, really trying to generate revenue from there, as well as tapping a different group of people that maybe aren't interested in cars, but might be interested in wine tasting and all of those kinds of things in a nice setting. And then those VIP tents, that was something that we brought in, I believe in 2018 for the first time. And those tents really sponsored by banks or businesses, they really commanded a nice premium for us. And so trying to really grow that so we can make sure that we're generating as much as we can from all the work everyone puts into the show. And then we will be trying to update some of the old or damaged signs. I know some of them are in pieces and everything else. And so we're slowly trying to convert those out and protect them a little better and everything else too. Okay. So that's really big picture there. I'm sure we'll have some kind of update or something moving forward, but I was really where I wanted to focus. Again, it's going to be a pretty casual event. If you can definitely make it down Sunday, it would be great just to see everybody there. Obviously, it's not the official meeting, but it is one of the first larger events that we've had in quite a while. So it'd be great to see anyone who's able to attend, wear Rotary gear. Jim will be manning a Rotary booth for us where he's just going to hang out and offer any information to anybody who has questions about Rotary. And I'm sure he could use some help if anyone wants to swing by and hang out with him too. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for me about the past, the future, this weekend, anything like that pertaining to the show? Yeah, Janine.
Well, I love the idea of the British elegance for next summer. And I'm just wondering, did we already secure the MCs, and are we doing anything towards bringing in any celebrities or special, guests or something to highlight the British elegance that might be a draw to the gate for people to come?
Yeah, it's a great question. So when we were planning for the 2021 show, a couple of the MCs that we've relied on in the past that have a great following and also don't charge us, they were unable to do it this year. We'll see where they're at next year, just because of health concerns, such like that. But we haven't planned specifically who the MC or anything will be for next year, for certain. But yeah, great question there. Yeah, Virginia.
Well, it occurs to me if 2022 is our 50th anniversary event, we should probably also be already thinking ahead to that, because that's a beautiful opportunity to do some more special stuff.
Yeah, so we had some debate on it. While it would be the 50th year, it would be the 48th annual. So we're still kind of stuck on number 48 because we didn't have the other 2 years. I know Court, we discussed it with him on the tourism side because he said there's a lot of historic things that we can do. So by keeping it 48th, 49, 50 at the 50th year, there's some different protections and grants we're able to apply for from the government that will hopefully help us moving forward as well. Yeah. But it will also be, the summer of big events that people haven't seen. So I think we should see some pretty big interest next year for sure too. Yeah, Amy?
Is there any plans to sort of attach the event to some of the sesquicentennial celebrations, or get on their calendar, or tie that in?
For the
city. So the city's celebrating its 150th year as a city. There's a lot of events being planned, and I just think it could be an enhanced marketing opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah, we'll definitely try to make sure that we're embedded with that for next summer for sure. Yeah, thank you. Ken?
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, I think we all need to thank Ryan for all the real hard work that he's put in, because he has done a lion's share of the work, and I can tell you from experience that it is a taxing job. So thank you very, very much, Ryan. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no
when
problem.
you come down to the beer and wine garden, because of the fact that we have a fence around the entire event, we do not have to restrict people to a beer and wine garden. So we can have an area set aside, but we don't need to restrict it specifically.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for that clarification. Really hoping for the wine pavilion, the idea of multiple vineyards, tastings, all of that kind of thing for sure. Yeah, but thank you for the clarification on it.
Paul?
Yeah, what kind of signage is going to be up around downtown so that people driving through town know what's going on and won't try to drive down the wrong street, etc.?
Yeah, great question. So I have barricades I'll be picking up from the city that will be blocking off the roads on Main Street, basically from Parr Lumber to Pacific Ave, and 21st from the corner there at UCC and University. I think it's University. all the way down to Miguet's, roughly. Miguet's, Ridgewalker, that kind of stretch there before the alley, so someone could turn. And then we do have some signs, the miracle sign put together for us. Lots of fun ones that say keep social distancing, that we won't have to put up as much. But we do have signs saying classics on Main, and hanging some banner and stuff like that. Because we aren't charging for tickets, we had no real for sure estimation of how many people we could have at the show, and therefore harder to drive sponsors to really to support. And with so few car owners, we tried to cut costs as much as possible. So there will really only be 4 major signs around, and I'll be moving one of the banners throughout the day for the placement there. But just trying to keep the cost down as low as possible for this event, so that we were able to generate a little bit of a profit from it. Oh, and I'll be putting up no parking signs and such like that Saturday night. In theory, no one's allowed to park on Main Street between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. Overnight, but we'll see what happens, hoping that it's not something we have to deal with, though. Any other questions or anything?
I think just a note, if you come down to the event, let's take a lot of pictures of it. This is a great opportunity for us to kind of share something that we're doing. It's a picturesque setting. We're going to have beautiful cars. The weather's going to be beautiful with all you beautiful people there as well. So I want you to, if you come down, take an opportunity to really document the experience, because it's the start of my year. The more pictures and things we can take of this year of kind of our return to normalcy, the more fondly we can look back on it in the future. So
yeah, great idea, for sure. And we will have to, if any of you talk to any car owners or anything, once they are gone from Main Street on the tour, there will be a photographer taking pictures of them, and we should have access to some of those photos, and car owners will have the ability to purchase those photos as well. So a little bit of a back end fundraiser there too. Yeah,
So
Paul?
just kind of an operational thing. When we were at Pacific, all the cars came in a certain entrance and were directed to certain places. How is that going to work this year, as far as the cars arriving and going through the process of finding a parking space and getting to Main Street and 21st Avenue?
Yeah, so our fearless leader, Bryce, he'll be taking on a large part of that. But it'll look more, for those of you that have been to the tour, which is typically the Saturday before the actual Concours event, it's going to look a little bit more similar to that. And we tried to keep things very close to that for the car owners that do attend it year after year. So cars will come in from the north end of Main Street. They'll pull in there and check in at a registration table, sign waivers and everything else. And then they will be able to park where directed. Those are going on the tour are going to park on Main Street. Those who are just there for display and hanging out are going to park on 21st. And we'll have car spotters leading them every step of the way. And they'll be coming in, we said in place by 8, plan to arrive about 7:30. So we're expecting to see the first ones by 7, just because they like to come in early a lot of the time.
I love the question, Paul. That's why you're one of my area leads for car spotting. So always thinking about where we're going to put them. But yeah, we'll talk about it more on Sunday when we all the car spotters get together to figure out how we're going to stage everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I don't see any more questions. But if you have any more before Sunday, you can reach out to Ryan or myself, and we'll be happy to answer those as best as we can.